even though there are instances when men are jealous with others that outwork them, a lot for me, even being a little transparent, I struggle with envy at times too, because but it's for the opposite reason. Like, I put in so much work, going to get the education, going into jobs so I can help the community, come up with all these ideas to create programming that's going to help youth. And then I see somebody else that just made up a couple of cliche terms, and they get funding to run everything that they want to do, and they have no substance or anything. Like, it's hard not to be envious of those types of things, because
So this is the issue with victim mentality when people make that statement, because if you believe that you can just not care about something and it no longer exists, I personally believe that's delusional. I get the sentiment and wanting to think positive.
Has racism affected your life and the life that you want to live compared to what you're living now?
Absolutely.
How so?
Shit, I was going to the league. My coach called one of the players a nigger, and I stood on principle and transferred. Is that good enough for you? I probably lost at least $10 million. Is that good enough?
I mean, that would kind of go back to the conversation that we just had recently of allowing for someone to have power over you. You could have addressed it some type of different way as to where you could have got your point across and maybe still got that contract. No.
So I would not have been able to continuously stay at the school and play under that. It wouldn't have worked for me. It would not have. So I'm not upset about the results, because hey, at the end of the day, I'm not owed anything. And I can look myself in the mirror, but hey, I had a decision to make, and I made the decision that fit right with me. Now, I'm not complaining about it, but I'm saying it has affected my life. So,
but if you had the opportunity to approach it in a different manner and still be in the position, maybe they would have traded you off to a different team or whatever the case may be.
It was a different. If it was like professional at that time, then yeah, I probably could have done something different about it. This was in the era pre-social media. There was no transfer portal. You had to sit out a year it was a different time, and it was no way. It was only a couple magazines in the newspaper. It wasn't no going to social media and finding a way to seek recompense. It was a different time. In this era, absolutely, it's the way I could have handled that differently. In that era, it wasn't really much that I could have done. Maybe sue them or something. But.
All right, we gotta get some other people there. Let me go to Nelson and then Sweeney.
Yeah, I actually disagreed with the statement. Even though there are instances when men are jealous with others that outwork them, for me, even being a little transparent, I struggle with envy at times too, because but it's for the opposite reason. Like, I put in so much work, going to get the education, going into jobs so I can help the community, come up with all these ideas to create programming that's going to help youth. And then I see somebody else that just made up a couple of cliche terms, and they get funding to run everything that they want to do, and they have no substance or anything. Like, it's hard not to be envious of those types of things, because your motives, why you do things, and how hard you work. So it's difficult seeing somebody on the other side of that looks like they've just been handed things. So I can understand that it's another one of the things that definitely can work both ways. But I feel like the men that become really envious and can become really jealous, even though it's a struggle that we do need to, I need to examine myself and work on and make sure I'm living in humility. It's a much larger struggle when you are doing the right thing, but somebody else is getting the outcomes that you believe you should be getting.
You got anything to add about that victim mentality?
Victim mentality is really just painting yourself out as the victim when there's evidence that says otherwise. Amanda Seales, she goes on a popular show and makes different statements about her life, and having a regular conversation with Shannon Sharpe, she leaves there and says he was mean to her, he was wrong to her. Perpetual victim. Even when the discussion about racism absolutely does exist, but if you are working on a job and you get fired and you claim it's because of racism, and your manager was black and he's the one that fired you, then there's a problem, because there's evidence that says otherwise, that you got fired because you're lazy. So racism wouldn't apply in that circumstance. But those types of people that live in that victim mentality, no matter what happens, they can always shift the narrative. They're the persecutor. They're oftentimes the person that starts something, but find unique ways to shape the argument and shape the narrative that paints them out as being the victim.
All right. Go ahead, Brother Sweeney.
So I personally believe that most people are indifferent to you. They really don't give a shit. They got their own lives that they need to live, so most people are indifferent. However, my wife did send me this post today. It was a lady, I guess she was a Lash Tech or something like that, and she said, when my this lady said, when my Lash Tech upped her prices, then posted her new apartment, new bags, and her car she bought cash, I'm not gonna lie, I felt the type of way, so I stopped going to her. Another one responded to her and said, me with my hair lady, she bought a $400,000 home, and I was like, yeah, this stops here. And over 14,000 people liked each of those posts. And that did help me realize that some people just want to see the world burn. Do I think that's most people? Nah. I think most people got their own shit going on in their lives, and they can give 2 flying fucks and 2 tears in a bucket what you got going on in yours. However, there is some people in your life that see you winning and want to see you lose. Yeah, I'll leave it there.
All right. Go ahead, Trev.
So Nelson made a great point that it varies, right? Because, I talk to a lot of people who, and even myself, sometimes I try to do things the right way, right? Even if we just talk about something as simple as social media. We know most of us have the ability to go viral, right? But we would have to do something against our morale, right? Just against our principles, and we can do it. And then we watch somebody else do it, and we put it in and trying to do it from the mud. And it's very easy to be like, damn, this is some what, because you like this dude over here on some corny man just doing whatever out here grifting, playing games. It's a fake, but you trying to do it the right way, and you ain't winning. And you could do the same thing, but you standing on business. You want to hold your principles, and you ain't winning out here. And it's tough to watch that, right? Another thing I want to say is that it's an emotion. Envy is an emotion, right? So it's not something that we should be like, oh, damn, you're envious. Okay. It's just like anything else, just like anger, right? Frustration. It's what you do with that energy. It's okay to feel a way about something, but it's how you react to it, in my opinion, right? So you'll see some things that you're like, damn, I want that. But when I see somebody who got the bigger car, the bigger house, you know what I mean? They're like, damn, all right. I'll take it as motivation. It's still envious, though, because you want it. You want what somebody else got. But what are you going to do with that energy? Are you going to try to pull them down to you? Or are you going to try to get on because you're like, nah, put me on, bro. You supposed to. You owe me that. Or are you going to try to downplay what it is that they do because you feel in a way? Nah, you're gonna have to go ahead and get it. Do it the way you know, well, the best way that you see fit, and hopefully it aligns with your morals, right? So I would say that, and anybody's capable of it. We all sit here. We all have experienced some type of envy at some point, but it's just, you just have to be very careful of to how you manage that particular emotion. I'll leave it there for now.
I do want to add to that that some people are just unlikable ass people and just do shit the wrong way. Amanda Seals, and everybody and everybody else is the problem but you. And they will have that mentality that, oh, the world is just hating on me. No, you doing shit the wrong way. And yeah, you may be winning in certain ways, but I generally don't like the way you fucking do shit. And it bothers me that you do it that way. And it bothers me even more that you're winning while doing it that way. So some people are just unlikable ass people.